Ganeshiny Sridharan, Facing Your Roach. Facing Your Roach, Ganeshiny Sridharan.
Imagine you're in a room and you are all alone, except for this cockroach sitting there on the wall. Now, seems okay. It's minding its own business, you're minding your own. You have this mutual understanding established. You say, "Dear cockroach, please stay in your corner. I'll be in mine. Let's just not cross each other's path, shall we?" Contest here, ladies and gentlemen. I'm about to make a very important comparison between a regular cockroach and a one that could fly, because clearly they're not the same. Now, a regular cockroach just sits there on the wall. The one that could fly doesn't. A regular cockroach just minds its own business. A one that could fly doesn't. A regular cockroach flies away from you when it gets scared. The one that could fly doesn't. In fact, it does the opposite. A regular cockroach is not gifted with the ability to fly. The one that could fly is also not gifted with the ability to fly, but does it anyways. I know this because I am dead scared of cockroaches, which I'm embarrassed to say out loud. I have this disaster management kit that consists of 3 things. 1, a Mortein spray. 2, a broomstick. 3, my father. So whenever there is a cockroach emergency, I employ my disaster management kit and I'll get rid of it. Except later on, I ditched the Mortein spray because it seemed a little inhumane to kill something that just chose to fly past me. So most of the time, my father will be having to come to the rescue. Now you can say that he grew a little tired of this whole cockroach ordeal, that one day he decided to give me a piece of advice. So he caught this cockroach and held it right in front of my face and asked, "Do you see what you are afraid of?" I said, "Duh, I'm afraid of the cockroach." And he said, "Correct. You are afraid of a tiny insect. The day when you address your fear for this insect is the day when you'll face one. And that goes to all fears you'll be facing throughout your life." Now, I agreed, because I didn't want a cockroach being held in front of my face for too long. But then I did think about it. Now, when we're afraid, we tend to do one of these 2 things. 1, we do not address our fears. We simply ignore or deny that we are afraid of it. But then when we are facing a fear, we do not know how to react. Which brings me to the second thing that we do when we are afraid, and that is, we do not address our fears right. Now, what does that mean? It means that we hold a bloated, intimidating image of our fear in our heads, but in reality, it's of something very simple. Example, my fear of cockroach. Now, I have something else that I'm afraid of as well, and that is my fear of public speaking. You can say that I am mortified by the act of speaking in front of people. Believe it or not, I haven't done a single performance on stage throughout my school. It is something that I passionately avoided. So I had to get rid of this fear somehow. So I decided to put my father's advice to the test. So one day, I was in my room, I was minding my own business, and I see this cockroach making an entry. It flew right across the room and landed on a wall. I stood up, manned myself, and went right up to the cockroach and said, "Dear cockroach, you defined my identity this whole time. Not anymore. I'm going to catch you." And I caught him right there with my bare hands. Except that I didn't. I fled again. But I know exactly where I've gone wrong. Did you catch it? Well, if you didn't, hear me out. I took this bug so seriously that I thought it defined my identity, while in reality, it's of some simple insect trying to survive an urban household. It doesn't care. Now, you might say that the fear of cockroach is more of a basic human survival instinct, and you're absolutely right. But then there are other things that we are afraid of that has nothing to do with our survival. And one such thing is public speaking. What are you afraid of? Talking? See, that's how you address it. At this very moment, I feel like I hold the key to face any fears throughout my life. And if I could feel the same, I know you could too. You only need to do two things. One, look at your fears. Two, look at them just the way they are. Let it be your fear of responsibilities. Let it be your fear of examinations. Let it be your fear of mathematics. Let it be your fear of an insect flying towards you. Let it be your fear of writing a mathematics examination while an insect flying towards you. It works all the same. Contest share.